In this video, we are going to look at representing ratios in ratio tables. A ratio table is a way to organize and show multiple equivalent ratios. In this problem, it says for 6 chores Todd completes, he earns $3 on his chore chart. So again, it says for every 6 chores that he completes, he earns $3. So now I'm going to fill in the rest of this table with equivalent ratios. So if I go here, this would be 6 multiplied by 2, and that would give me 12. So whatever I do on this side, I also have to do on this side. So it would be 3 multiplied by 2 would give me 6. Here, if I did 6 multiplied by 3, again, if I'm multiplying by 3 on this side, I also have to multiply by 3 on this side. And that would give me 9 on this side and 18 on this side. If I took 6 multiplied by 4, again, if I'm multiplying by 4 on this side, I have to multiply by 4 on this side, give me 24 here and 12 here. And if I did 6 multiplied by 5, again, if I'm multiplying by 5 here, I have to multiply by 5 here, and that would give me 30 over here and 15 over here. Now, my question up here asks about how are the values in the chores column related? So here's my chores column. So I'm going to look down here. Well, I have here 6 multiplied by 1, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 5. So I have 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So those are multiples of 6. Or again, when I'm looking at multiples of 6, I'm counting by sixes. If I look at my total amount, so it says in the money column, here's my money column. And again, this would be 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 3 times 5. So again, I'm going 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So in this case, I'm looking at the multiples of 3 or counting by threes. And then here it says, how are the number of chores and the amount of money earned related? So when I do that, I'm going to look this way and compare these two numbers. And if you notice, if I go this direction, I am, oops, excuse me, dividing by 2. And if I go this direction, from money to chores, I am multiplying by 2. So when I look at that, that says that the chores on this side are double the total amount on this side. So if I go from money to chores, I'm multiplying by 2. The total money is half of the chores. So that means if I'm going from the amount of chores to the amount of money, then I am dividing by 2. So here we have this problem. It says a cleaning solution can be made by mixing bleach and water. So here I start off with what I know. I know this spot right here. So I know that there are 3 tablespoons of bleach mixed with 4 gallons of water. So since I know that, that's where I'm going to start. When I look at my first blank here, which is right here, I'm going to look on this side and know that 3 times 2 gives me 6. So since I'm multiplying by 2 here, that means I have to take, or excuse me, 4 times 2 over here, which gives me 8. So multiply by 2 on this side, multiply by 2 on this side. Now I have 20 underneath my gallons of water. And I know that 4 times 5 gives me 20. So if I multiply by 5 here, that means I have to take 3 and multiply by 5 here, and that gives me 15 tablespoons of bleach. So my next one has a 9 underneath the tablespoons of bleach, and I know that 3 times 3 gives me 9. So if I multiply by 3 here, that means I have to take 4 and multiply by 3 here, and that would give me 12. Get to my next one, which is a 2, and I would take 4, but it's smaller than 4, so that means I have to divide this time. So I'm going to divide by 2. So if I divide by 2 on this side, that means I have to take 3 and divide it by 2 on this side, which gives me 1 and 1 half, or 1 and 1 half as a decimal. Now, my next one has 90 underneath the um, bleach tablespoons. So I know that 3 multiplied by 30 gives me 90. So that means I have to take 4 and multiply it by, oops, 30 as well. And 4 multiplied by 30 is 120. I get to 32 here, and I'm going to kind of go through the same process. 4 multiplied by what gives me 32? Well, that would be 8. So that means on this side, 3 multiplied by 8 gives me 24. So a florist shop is preparing bouquets of flowers to sell over the weekend. In a bouquet of flowers, the shop uses 3 roses for every 9 carnations. So this one I actually have to fill in my table. So again, first part is 3 roses. So my roses are going to go first, and I would have 3 here. And then I have 9 carnations. So my carnations would go here, and I would put my 9 here. So now I'm going to work through and make my equivalent table, or equivalent ratios, to fill in my ratio table. Now, again, I can look at this a variety of ways. I can look here and say, oh, every time I have roses, I'm going to multiply it by 3 to get my carnations. Or I could work my way down my ratio table by using multiples of 3 and multiples of 9. Either way is going to work to get my equivalent ratios. So if I go next and say that I have 6, because I'm going to multiply by 2, then I can multiply by 3 here, or I can multiply by 2 here, because I multiplied this side, have to multiply by this side. So that would give me 18 carnations. My next group would give me 9 roses, because 3 times 3 would give me 9. And again, I can either take and multiply by 3 on this side, because that's what I did here. So I have to do that over here. Or I can look at this relationship, which is also times 3, and that would give me a total of 27. My next group, if I looked here, well, if I keep counting by threes, then this would give me 12. And if I take 12 and multiply it by 3, that gives me 36. Or if I look here, this would be multiplied by 4. So if I multiply by 4 here, I would also have to multiply by 4 over here. My next group of 3 would be 15. So I would put my 15 here. And again, depending on how I did this, if I multiplied by 3 here, that would give me a total of 45. Or I could take my roses and multiply by 5. And if I multiplied by 5 here, take my carnations, multiply by 5, and that would also give me 45. And then my last group down here at the bottom, if I kept counting by threes, that would give me 18. Well, if I take 18 and multiply it by 3, that would give me 54. And again, if I did the same thing here, 3 multiplied by 6 gives me 18. So if I multiply by 6 here, I also need to multiply by 6 here, which also gives me 54.